Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in this video, what I want to talk about is how to deal with losses in your trading. So this is really important to understand. And I think a lot of people struggle with this. I was really having a hard time myself to deal with my losing trades at the beginning. And today I'm really able to manage this, fairly well. So I want to show you guys basically what I did to, go from a beginner to someone who knows how to deal with this. So just before that we start, as always, don't forget to leave a like under the video. I would really appreciate it, and make sure as well that you are subscribed to the channel if it's not already done. All right, so let's get into it. So basically today I want to give you guys two different tips. These are really the two most important things that I did in order to be able to deal with my losses. So as I said at the beginning, right, like when I started to trade, I was really young, like I opened my first live account when I was 16 years old. So I had spent some time before, right, learning how to trade and, trying different stuff on a demo account and stuff like that. But I really started, to open my first real account when I was 16 years old. And so at the time, I really didn't have much money, right? My first account didn't even have $200 in it, right? So I was pretty broke, right? I could not really afford to lose much money. And so when I was taking losing trades, right, at that time, it was really, really hard mentally to handle that and to accept the fact that I just had lost money, because I didn't want to lose money. Like that was my mental state at the time. And it's really something that blocked me for quite a long time, right, in order to really reach the type of results that I can get nowadays. So what did I do, right, to kind of go from there to, as I said, right, being someone that really, I'm not stressed about my trades, right? Like, even if I have losses and stuff like that, right, like it does not disturb me and I live with this very easily. So how, did I did this, right? So the first thing, right, that you have to keep in mind is that it's really, really important to understand that it's all about the mindset that you have when it comes to seeing these losses, right? So what I mean is that if you think that losses are, abnormal, if you think that it's because you're bad or whatever, right? Like it's probably just because you haven't really understood what trading is in the first place, right? Because trading is a game of statistics, right? It's a game of probabilities, right? So it doesn't matter who it is, right? Even the best of the best of the best traders in the world, they all have losses, right? Including myself. I still have losses to this day, and it's perfectly normal because whenever you take a trade, it's always based on probabilities, but it doesn't mean that you will win this individual trades. It means that if you're good over the long term, the probabilities will play out and you will be able to generate consistent results. But on an individual basis, you never know which trade will make money or will lose money. And so you just have to understand that at the end of the day, right, losses are part of the game, and it's not something that you can really remove, right? It's never going to happen. So you just need to accept that, right? And so this mindset of, okay, they're part of the game, just like, the sun and the moon, right? They're part of life, right? It's the same thing, right? Losses are part of the game, so you just need to accept them, right? It's really the first part that really helped me, because at first I was like, let me try to improve, let me try to reduce my losses as much as I could, but I quickly realized that it was not really the way that it works, right? And once I really accepted this idea, right, not just understood it, but accepted this idea, this is really where it changed everything for me. So I would say that this is really one of the most important things. After that, another thing which is really related to what I'm talking about here is that what you guys have to know is basically your own system and the type of results that it can give you, okay? So let me explain you guys what I mean by this. So I've been trading personally the same system now for a couple of years, right? So I know exactly how my system works and I know what the type of results that I can get, right? So I know the type of winning streaks that I can have. I know the type of losing streaks that I can have, right? And I know exactly, how it will materialize on the markets. And so when I get into a losing streak, when I have, let's say 1, 2, 3 losses in a row, it's not something really that will disturb me because I'm aware that my system, has the ability to produce these kind of results. But I also know that if I just keep on going and if I just respect the system, at some point the winning trades will outweigh the losing ones, right? And this is what happens every single time, right? So it's really important for you guys to know your system, right? So if you trade a bit, let's say randomly, right, of course it's going to be hard to deal with losses, right? Like so many people, when they start to trade, They don't really have a system. They don't really have a structure. Like, this is really one of the main problems that I see between people who just joined our program recently, right? Like, you know, they got into trading, but they don't really know what they're doing, but they're still taking some trades here and there. Like, it's all over the place and it's really not good. So what I tell to my students every time is, okay, you know, let's just take a step back, right? Let's review everything. Let's, you know, just study again, right? And make sure that, you know, before we start again, you have a really structured plan in place. And this works very, very well, but it's the case for most people, right? Most people don't have this kind of plan and this kind of ordered system, right? And so what happens is that if you just, let's say, wake up in the morning, right? You look at the charts, you take a trade, and then you look at it at night and you took a loss, right? Or you took a winning trade, whatever. It's all going to be over the place. You don't know basically what are the probabilities of you winning or losing a certain trade, right? And so if you just take losses, right, it's going to be harder to kind of put them in a logical framework, right? So if you have a system and you take losses, you know that it's normal, right? You know what's the probability of you making money or losing money. And you know that if you stick to the system that has been proven to work, which is what I teach to our members, then you know that over the long term, right, you will be able to generate good results, okay? But if you don't have this, right, if you just trade, as I said, a bit randomly, it's going to be really, really hard to kind of stick to this mentality of, okay, let's just keep going, because you don't even know basically what kind of results you're going to get, right? And so it makes everything much harder. So you really have to basically, you know, figure this part out, right? Like, you need to have a system. Otherwise, if you trade, you know, a bit just like that, right, and you just kind of go freestyle, right, it's not going to work, and it's really not going to give you the type of results that you want. And so that is extremely, really important for you guys to understand, right? Like, these 2 points right here, they are the essentials of what I've used to really be able to deal with my losses, right? Number one, accepting the fact that they are there and that they will remain there. It's really important, right? So just getting to, you know, accept and even embrace these losing trades, right? Because when you have a losing trade, if it's within the system, it means that at some point you will get a winning trade, right? So it's just about mindset. It's about a perspective of how you see it, right? And so that's the first part, right? And then the second part is once you have a good mindset, you also need to have a good system that allows you to take these losses without getting lost, okay? And so if you have the two, right, just think about how amazing that is, right? Like, you have a system, you know what's the probability of making money or losing money, right? So you just keep following the system, and at the same time you have a good mindset to deal with these losing trades when they happen, right? So all of a sudden you will be in a situation where you just follow your system, right? You just keep on taking trades the way you should, right? And at the same time, right, you have a really good mindset. So even if you have a few losing trades or whatever, it's not going to bother you, and it's not going to block you from following the system, which is exactly what you should do, right? And so overall, right, over the long term, well, you will be able to, again, just follow the system, right? Keep a good mindset, handle the losing trades, right? And overall, you will be able to grow your account from this, right? So these are really the two things that you need to work on. So what I want you guys to do after watching this video is just ask yourself, right? Ask yourself what you need to work on between these two elements. I'll be honest with you guys, most people watching this video probably need to work on both, and that is perfectly normal, right? But try to see where you're at with these two things, right? Like, what's your mindset, you know, like your real and deep mindset, right? Like, when you take a loss, how do you react to it, right? Like, what are your thoughts, right? This is your deep mindset. So you need to work on that, right? And then what you also need to work on is the system in itself, right? So do you have a system that works? Do you have a system that has been proven to overall be profitable over the long term, right? And you know, guys, this is the reason why I talk so much all the time about mentorship, right? Because I've had mentors myself at the beginning. They taught me this exact process that I'm teaching you guys right now. And it's really something that helped me skyrocket my trading to the next level, right? And they helped me to develop my system, which has been able to generate amazing results, right? So that's the power of having a mentor. And that's the reason why 7 years down the line, this is what I'm trying to give back. And that's the reason why my main goal is really to help as many of you guys become profitable as possible, right? Like, that's really what I want, because I've had this kind of help at the beginning, and I just know how powerful that is, and I just want to give back and help you guys, you know, become profitable, because every time, you know, I see our members winning, right, it just makes me so happy, and it's just amazing, right, to see, you know, how life-changing it could be as well for other people. So So yeah, guys, that's the idea. So I really, told you guys the two most important things for dealing with your losses. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it. And on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.